Assalamualaikum, my name is Nurul Aini Sofia binti Mazkifli from EC1104E. So now I will make a presentation about ECM367 on personal protective equipment PPE. So let's go. Okay, so for the introduction of PPE is the equipment that used to avoid the risk of the serious accident and protect ourselves while working. Death injuries can occur due to exposure to the hazards such as chemical, radioactive, physical, chemical hazard, and so on. All the personal protective equipment must be designed safe to use, so it should be comfortable to push the wearer. So if the personal protective equipment is not suitable, it can be dangerous for our safety. Okay, so as we can see, there are 10 common types of PPE that we will use in construction works, such as safety gloves, safety boots, earplugs, hard hats, goggles or safety glasses, masks, coveralls, respirator, high visibility clothes, and fall protection equipment. The first one is safety glove. It is used to protect our hand while doing the work. The safety gloves should be worn while performing the hazard activities such as construction work in hot and cold environment, work with the chemicals and sharp materials. So every individual should wear to protect our hand and finger from underwear injured such as blisters, skin, and chemical burn while performing the work. So the selection of gloves are also important because it is depend on the workplace environment of the individual. For example, cloth gloves are used to handle the raw material and the rubber gloves are used to electrical works. As we can see the function, it is to protect our hand from the possible dangers. Therefore, we must wear the right glove to work to protect ourselves and keep our gloves safe. Next, safety boots. It is to protect our feet from the various hazards such as high temperatures, chemicals, electrical, and other tools that fall onto the feet. Safety boots are designed with the hard surface to prevent the injured feet. It is usually worn when the user is in construction activities, working at the high temperature, working with chemical, forest, and working with the handling heavy objects. If there are damage to the safety boots, the individual should replace the new one because it can be dangerous to his feet. Safety shoes also can prevent the feet from tired. So by choosing the right safety shoes, it is very important to ensure the comfort of the individual while doing the work and avoid the dangers. Earplug is very important while working in the high noise level. Ear damage can occur when individuals work with the loud tools or machine without wearing the ear protection. Hearing protection will provide the comfort to user to do work without disturbing her with the loud volume. For the example, basic foam earplugs are often used by industrial workers while doing their work by distance of machine for the long time period. The high noise in construction is dangerous because it can cause hearing problems such as deafness. Noise will disturb the individual to do the work and lose their attention while doing the work that can cause the accident. After that, safety helmet is used to protect the head from the avoid danger that can be risked from the falling material. For example, this head protection used during construction and renovation activity to avoid the risk of head injury when objects fall into the head. If the falling object is too strong, it can cause death or even lose the memory. Every individual who does the outdoor activity should always wear the safety helmet to avoid the serious head injuries. Goggles or safety glasses is used to protect our eyes from the hazard material while doing the work such as laser. It is the high gases and harmful chemicals that can damage the eyes. So in construction work, we should always use the eyes protection because it can risk our eyes from the chemical element, material, smoke, and flying object. To prevent the eyes injury from happening, we should use the right type of eyes protection according to the suitability of the work. This is because each type of eyes protection selection has their own function depending on their work performance. After that, mask is important when performing tasks that involve the harmful substance into the body. There are many types of masks according to the suitability of the particular material. The use of mask should be avoided by using the same mask over and over again because it can cause the bacteria to spread. Next, we have the coveralls. It is to ensure the high protection that can be determined so the working can be negative risk while doing the work. So the normal clothes will increase the level of risk such as exposed to the chemical and virus. So the selection of suitable protective clothes are very important while working so that we can work safety and comfortable. After that, we have the respirators. It is a protection to breathe apparatus required during the work that involves with gas, dust, vapors at the large rates. This respirator is inhaler of clean air, so its use that must be neat from the foggy matter from the outside will be prevented from entering the body. For the high visibility clothes, the clothes that have the high visibility and it is usually came from the clothes in the bright colors so that it will be easy to see from the long distance. The accidents while doing a job can be avoided, especially when working at the night or in the dark. Usually, an individual who wears these clothes consists of people who work on the construction site, roads, and at the emergency service. Lastly, we have the fall protection equipment that used to control the device to protect the individual from falling from the high or dangerous place, such as at the high construction site and the sloping areas. The worker at the height of 2 meters or above should wear the equipment with the seatbelt to prevent the fall. The retaining point of the safety rope must be above than the worker height, at least 5 meters above the ground. This point must be strong enough to stand with the force. The fabric should be thick and made from the nylon. This height protection equipment must always be inspected for the function period before use by individual to ensure the safety of the user. Okay, after that we have the example of the hazard environment at the construction site, such as working at the height, material and manual handling, noise area, and airborne fiber and materials. So let's take it more closer. For the first one, we have the working at the height. Working at the height placed either inside or outside the building, like working from the roof and stair, always face the risk of danger. Among the risks when working, such as at the place that fall, can lead to the die. This can happen when the work surface is unstable. The factors such as several ladder and equipment failure cause movement is limited and increase the risk of the fall. So, for those who working in this high and dangerous place, must have the personal protective equipment PPE such as fall protection equipment, safety helmet, safety boot, coverall, and so on. Safety equipment such as a net and fall catch system can also be used to prevent the injury and die in event of the fall. After that, we have the material and manual handling. Activities such as lifting, holding, pulling, carrying, or moving the load. This type of manual handling activity usually require a grip that can be harmful to the skin, which can burn the skin, and loads that having the sharp edge but can also cut our hands. The falls during the lifting or carrying load, good supply as well as the ground surface also often occur when handling manually. So, we need to choose the right protective equipment such as safety gloves, safety shoes, safety helmets, and the coverall to have their own function to protect our body during the work. Next, we have the example of the nose area that was the common hazards in the work environment. The hearing protection that exposed to the nose area can result in hearing damage. The machine and equipment are source of the dangerous noise in the workplace. So, if the vibration is too strong, it can damage our hearing loss. The hearing protection such as the earplug should be used when working in the noise condition in order to protect our ear from the injury. Lastly, we have the example of the airborne fiber and materials. The respiratory system is very important for every individual to perform the activities. All the processes or substances that emit the dust, smoke, and vapors that has the chemical that are very dangerous when they enter the human body and that can give the effect such as heart and lung disease. Therefore, we need to use our personal protective equipment PPE in our situation of the workplace such as the face mask and the respirator when doing the work for our personal safety that can be maintaining our work performance. for the conclusion that I can conclude is the personal protective equipment PPE is very important when doing the construction site that must be observed all the times to avoid the injury and accident while doing the works. So, every employer need to ensure that the protection and safety in the workplace is always in good condition. Every of the employee also have the right to obtain the suitable personal protective equipment PPE so that the personal safety is ensured while performing their duties to prevent injury and accident happens. Okay, so I think that's all for my video assessment. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.